Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. I hope you guys had a good night's sleep. You know, sleep is super important. You need it to function. You need it to have a good day, have a productive day. It also can affect your mood, can affect your productivity, can affect your outlook on the day. Wasn't a very good night's sleep for your boy. It was one of those weird nights where I just could not sleep. I just felt warm in my bed, couldn't shake it, couldn't get cool, tossing and turning. Nothing really felt comfortable in my bed last night, and normally every night it does. So right now I'm kind of feeling it. I'm a little on the tired side. Doesn't matter. The show must go on. The grind never stops. I got a coffee with me right now, and I'm chugging this son of a bitch as fast as possible. Hopefully to get that caffeine boost and energize me for the day. Isn't caffeine wonderful? It's a miraculous thing that, speeds up your heart rate and, in a way, keeps you awake. Or at least we think it does. I'm never a believer in if I'm sleepy, if I need to pick me up, I'm never someone to say oh, you know what I need? I need a soda. Because soda has caffeine. Soda has a ton of caffeine and a ton of sugar. But I've never been the person to be you know what'll fix me up is a soda, right? Like a Coca-Cola, Pepsi, something with a lot of caffeine. I've never been a person to be yeah, I need a soda. That's going to pick me up. Normally, I'm always coffee. Cup of coffee, like I got right now, a cup of iced coffee. And if I'm feeling really, really sleepy, really weak, and really drowsy, I might go for an energy drink. And if I'm even feeling more sleepy, more tired, I'll go with a 5-hour energy. Those things wire me to the gills. They wire me the hell up. I guess you can kind of say that caffeine is sort of a drug. It's, I guess, used to improve your mental state, to improve your concentration. But it's a drug that's I guess, more acceptable in society than anything else that you could do to liven yourself up. Caffeine has kind of been a normalized substance that we consume for a lot of people on a daily basis, and we're okay with it. We're completely fine. There isn't any lawsuits. There isn't any policies being put into place to monitor or manage the public's intake of caffeine. We pretty much, almost in a way, promote it in our country and in our society. I can't tell you how many commercials that I see of soda, of energy drinks, and of coffee, all containing loads of caffeine. Not to mention other things like pre-workout and other substances like that also have loads and loads and loads of caffeine that are continuously promoted and sold in mass quantities across the globe. How many people today would you think consume at least a little bit of caffeine every single day? I would say a lot of people consume caffeine every single day. Like I said, soda counts, cup of coffee counts, right? You don't see a lot of people nowadays getting that much decaf. I feel like decaf was a thing back in the 2000s, the early 2000s. Decaf was an option that was much more popular than it is today. Now I feel like people are just in the constant gotta be hustling mode. Gotta be in the hustling mode all the time, where they're well, I need some caffeine. every single time. I mean, as I've matured, I see a lot more people nowadays, including myself, that have either a cup of coffee or a Starbucks energy drink. It's like it has become mainstream to consume caffeine. And I guess, you can kind of blame ourselves. I wouldn't really say you could blame like the companies, because while as they do kind of like promote their things, they don't normally promote it in a way that, oh, this is going to wire you, or oh, you're going to feel so much more focused. You won't be as sleepy or as droopy, or it'll pick you up. Never when I see like an ad for coffee or an ad for soda, it's never about how it's going to make you feel. It's just about the taste. Soda is always about the taste. Coffee is about the taste. I guess the only thing that can kind of like say that the product that promotes you to be as a pick-me-up would be an energy drink or a 5-hour energy drink. But like even those, like I don't even see that many of those out there. Maybe because like they have much more milligrams of caffeine than these other beverages do. Like even though I'm drinking a coffee right now, I know like it's not the most caffeinated beverage that could do wonders for me, that could truly lift me up. Like I would literally rise and my brain would be firing on all cylinders and my heart would be pumping like crazy. There's a lot of other things out there that I could do, that I can drink right now, that are much more heavily caffeinated, that this little coffee right here that I got in my hands would be like nothing compared to what those boys contain. Sometimes I feel like if I do take pre-workout, because I do work out, right, I would never leave the gym. Like I just feel like there's, something in that'll just like truly like make me go crazy and want to never leave the gym. And I guess like that's a good thing, because like that means I'm working out more. That means I am potentially losing more weight and getting more fit, and hopefully being much more healthy with myself, which is what everybody I think wants in their life. But at the same time, you kind of got to know like when to ease off, and when to cool off and when to stop. I feel like when people take pre-workout, they're like literally going past like their maximum of what they normally do and pushing their body to the point of no return. And where like they kind of like, almost feel like they have to take pre-workout to exercise or to work out, which leads to the point, caffeine is pretty addictive. I don't know if you've seen it, but, I myself have had like, a few times where in a way I have become a little bit addicted to caffeine. There was a period of time, it was a very short period of time, where I would buy energy drinks daily. And I'd be like, dude, like, I would always think to myself, like, I don't need it. Like SpongeBob is like, I don't need water. I'm fine. I don't need it. Even though in this situation, SpongeBob needed water to survive. I did not need Monster or Red Bull to survive. I just needed it because my body was having, I would say it's still very minor withdrawals of the sugar, carbonation, the caffeine along the way, that my body was like, yo, I want this. But in my mind, I was like, I don't need this. My body wants it to, to stimulate what I feel, what I taste when I drink those energy drinks. But, in a way, I'm not like that with soda. I don't need a soda all the time. It's only with energy drinks. Maybe it's actually because the caffeine truly is the addictive substance, or it's a placebo effect. Like I feel like I'm tricking myself that I need it when I really don't. Whatever it is, these companies are genius in how they created that. Either they made it so like they have just the right amount of caffeine, the right amount of chemicals in those beverages where you're like, I need it every single day. Or you think to yourself, maybe you pop one, you crack one open for the first time, and you're like, well, I hear a lot of my friends drink these, and they're able to stay awake, and they're able to do things when they're tired, and you're going to give it a shot. And you give it a shot, and you're like, you don't really feel anything. Maybe it takes an hour or so before you feel something. You might feel a little bit better, or there might be your brain pulling a trick on you. I don't know what to believe, but you feel better. And you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. I think the most I've had in a row when it comes to energy drinks is probably about like 3 straight days I had one energy drink. And I think that might have been like the most like consecutive that I've had of energy drinks. 3 or 5, can't remember, one of the two. And then I was able to break it, pretty easily. I just didn't. I was like, yeah, I don't need it. It's fine. I have to admit to you though, there have been times where I'm like, dude, I feel like I need it bad. But then I do get it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. But it's a good little indulgence, I guess. They're not saying that they're totally bad for you. I was always under the impression that those were like the big causes of kidney stones. And I never wanted to get kidney stones because I heard that kidney stones are one of the most painful things that anybody could possibly go through and not be like a total life or death situation or a super bad injury or surgery that you're awake for. Like kidney stones are like one of the most painful things that you can deal with and not have to go to the hospital. Like passing a kidney stone, I've heard, is terrible. I've had uncles that pass kidney stones, friends that have passed kidney stones, people that I listen to, whether it's podcast or YouTube, they say the same thing. It is super painful. And I can only imagine that even like something for like a little tiny rock that's got to be passed when you piss has got to be just like picturing it is not normal. It's just, it does not seem like it would be something that you should have to do often. Which now thinking about it, I need to drink more water. Like I need to drink much more water. Even though I drink a pretty good amount, I feel like because that those things are possible, that a kidney stone is not a super rare occurrence. Well, it is rare, but I feel like it's becoming more and more popular with what we drink in today's world. That it could be accelerated. It could possibly be accelerated because of what we drink, because of what we consume, and the chemicals that it has in them to possibly make kidney stones. It just seems unnatural. And I feel like I really do hope that there is like a symptom that comes about you that is like a warning sign that, hey, you got a kidney stone, pal. You're going to have to pass this sumbitch soon. Or else it's going to, it's going to catch you off guard and you're going to be in big trouble. Like, I don't know if there is a symptom that occurs before you have to pass it. Could you imagine, just like, you wake up in the morning about to go to work, you got to take a piss. You go to the bathroom all like, you actually got a good night's sleep, unlike me, and then you're feeling good. Like, I'm going to go do this after work and I'm going to have this for dinner. And you're thinking about, happy thoughts like, oh, today's going to be a good day. You pull down your pants to take a piss, and then all of a sudden you have excruciating pain and you can't take a piss. And then it's like, well, this might be a kidney stone. It's possibly a kidney stone. And what a rude way to wake up. What a rude awakening for a kidney stone. To just come out of the blue and be like, oh, sorry, you got this jagged stone that needs to be passed. And the only way to do it is through your piss. Good luck, pal. That to me would be one of the worst rude awakenings anybody could possibly have. Like, hey, I know your kidneys are super, valuable. I know that they're also super sensitive. I've heard of kidney shots, when you get punched in the kidney, it hurts like hell, right? I would appreciate it, I think, that if I'm about to get a kidney stone, maybe my kidneys would wince in pain for a while. Now, of course, that would probably come off very scary, right? You never want to have pain back there. But if it's just like a little weaning pain to let me know that, hey, buddy, like within the next couple of days, you're going to get a rock that you got to take a piss out of, and it's going to hurt like hell. But this is a warning that it's approaching. I mean, I would, take full precaution, maybe schedule some time off, maybe take the long weekend, maybe really just like try to possibly consume enough water to maybe that stone would like disintegrate, if that's even possible. But I would definitely take much more of a consideration and much more caution if I knew that I was going to get a kidney stone, rather it surprising me. Like, I don't even know if you can go to the doctor and get like an x-ray of your kidneys and see like if there's any stones being processed. I'm not a doctor about it. I don't know like exactly how a kidney stone is created within your kidneys. I'm guessing like it's like excess crap that your kidneys are not able to process or filter, and that becomes the stones, I would assume. I don't know. I guess I'm not a doctor, but it kind of makes sense in a way. But if there was an alert, a warning that, hey, buddy, you're going to be passing a stone very quickly, just letting you know, I would love that. We have tornado warnings, hurricane warnings. I know this is not the same thing, but imagine how much it would save people's mood if we knew that we were going to pass a kidney stone very, very soon. I know for me, personally, I would like that warning than rather just be attacked by a kidney stone. That's something that, I have nightmares about that. I mean, could you imagine, right? You're at work, maybe you're at home just chilling, doing your stuff, having fun, having a chill day. All of a sudden, you're in excruciating pain and you don't know what's happening. That's not something that I want to think about. That's not something that because now I'm talking about it, I'm thinking like, hey, this could happen to me any single second. Like, I could get a kidney stone right now as I'm talking. I can get at work, I can get at the gym, I can get it, when I'm chilling out, reading, playing games, watching a movie, and it could ruin that entire moment. Like, that would be just absolutely tragic. No one should want that. You know how people say they should not wish upon death upon anybody? I agree with that. I would probably never wish like a kidney stone on anybody ever as well. I might actually put that above death, even though I've never experienced death or a kidney stone. Like I said, all the stories and folk tales that I've heard is that kidney stones are hell. And it's a pain down there that no man should ever have to experience. I know last week was National Women's Month, but hell, man, women go through a ton of shit all the time. Giving birth, having periods and shit. I mean, these ladies, go through a lot more pain than I could ever imagine. Just having being around women, sisters, complaining about their stuff like that. I mean, I could not do what a lady does. I probably would lose my mind. I mean, there's a period in, no pun intended, there's a period in a month for every lady where their hormones are literally going bananas and they're in excruciating pain and they have no control over any of it. To me, that's insane. And I would actually kind of push for a bill, not to get political, or a policy where it says, hey, ladies, once this occurs, this period of the month where you're pretty much not functional, like cramping up, pain, crying, emotions going wackadoo, like maybe take some time off for sure, right? I think that would benefit everybody. It would make you be able to concentrate at work. It would prevent you from having days where you can't do nothing. It would also be a lot better, I think, that if you just stayed home and waned it out. I think so. I'm only speaking because I'm imagining what I would do in that kind of situation. Essentially, your body is like not even functional, is what I'm thinking. Like, I would want to take some time off. I don't know. I know that women have much more higher pain tolerance than men, though. So that would be sort of a benefit to them. Now, could you imagine that we get periods, men, with a lesser pain tolerance than women? It would probably kill us. Like, no joke, like a period might actually kill men because our pain tolerance is not as high as women's. It's possible. Now, I don't know if any man has ever had a period, but I would probably think that it would be much more painful for a man to have that than a woman to have that. I've seen these videos. This is not about a period, but they have these little strings, like suction cup strings, that are like electromagnetic or something like that dudes stick onto their stomach. It's a video trend that I saw on YouTube years ago, but essentially what it does is it's hooked up to a machine, and this machine is a machine that generates pain through shock and electricity, and that this machine is able to simulate what the pain is like for women to give birth. And you can like set it up into like, increments of pain, like small, medium, high pain. And then like in between there's like pain of like giving birth. And people have set it to that, strapped to men. And every single dude that has done it is like tapping out like within 1 second of that pain. I can't even imagine like going through labor like for like a day, 2 days, maybe even 3 days. I've heard women's stories like they've been in labor for like 3 days. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. How could anybody withstand that? Like, you must have like that unconditional love that this is your child that's going to be born and that you're pushing through. Men don't have that. We're going to tap out as soon as possible. Like, I can't even imagine that. I've just seen those videos. Now, I've never experienced that kind of pain myself. I haven't experienced a lot of pain like that in my entire life. The worst pain that I've ever experienced was probably getting stabbed in my thigh with my bike, but that was like very quick pain. It was like a puncture wound that I couldn't really feel. I guess like the point where they had to give my leg shots to numb the pain when they did the stitches, that was pretty painful. That hurt a lot. Like, that hurt a lot. But then it was over pretty quickly because they numbed my ass and I couldn't feel much of it. So it's not like even comparable, I think, to what women go through giving birth. I see those videos of these dudes just tapping out. It's like, oh, hell no. I could never do that. Thank God men don't got to give birth. Shit. And we wouldn't have any kids. We would probably just like kill ourselves. We wouldn't even want to have birth. We'd just be like, nope, I'm not having a kid. Die. That's it. I cannot do this. It's impossible. The species of humanity, if men had to give birth, would not be here today if men had to give birth and women did not. We wouldn't be here today. It'd be impossible. We would have to have completely different biology. Our pain tolerances would have to swap in order for that to happen. And if that doesn't happen, there's no shot that we even get there. Impossible. I think I'm allowed to hate things. I think that every person is allowed to be a hater. I think that's fair. I think that we all go about our day-to-day lives where we try to accept everything that we are thrown at. What I mean by accept is like accepting people's beliefs, accepting what people like, accepting people's opinions. I think that we're allowed to, we go about our day-to-day lives respecting, accepting most people's opinions about things, in a way where we are not, trying to hurt anyone's feelings or hurt anybody's point on something or bash their careers or bash their lives on, issues that are pretty big in the world, whether it's politics, whether it's religion. I stay away from all that stuff for a reason. It's problematic. Now, why I bring that up is because while I do try my darndest to respect all views, sometimes I want to hate. Sometimes I want to hate something that I feel like deserves hate. That I think that, in a way could also possibly gain these things that I hate so much, maybe some popularity and maybe benefit from my hate, possibly. They say all press is good press, right? Well, I'm about to give this thing that I just don't really care for at all, and yes, I'm hating on it, some press. The Joker 2 movie. You remember the Joker, right? Not Heath Ledger, not Mark Hamill, but Joaquin Phoenix. About 4 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I can't remember. Maybe even more, actually. It might have been more. Joaquin Phoenix was the Joker in the DC movie just about Joker. That's all it was, a spin-off of Joker, because, well, Warner Brothers did not know how to incorporate Batman and the Joker. They've tried with they tried doing it with they didn't try. They successfully did it with The Dark Knight back in 2008, and they tried again with the Suicide Squad actually, with Jared Leto and Ben Affleck, and that totally just was one of the worst depictions of Joker that I've ever seen in my entire life. And then DC was like, you know what? We want another crack at this. We want to make it so we can make Joker crazy, but an entirely different take. Hence was born Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, which is not like any other Joker that's out there. This Joker is trying to be a stand-up comic, has some issues with his past that leads into his present day, causes him to go kind of crazy, stuff like that. He's a murderer. He kills people. This is all spoilers, by the way, but I don't care because this movie's old as shit. It's directed by Todd Phillips. It's a dramatic movie about a failed stand-up comic who goes on a killing spree because, he's been built up all this emotion and all this anger of being bullied and then ridiculed and just put down day after day after day. And then this dude just snaps and he becomes the Joker. And he puts on the makeup and he's like a clown and he's psychotic and he has a laugh and he's the Joker. It's this version of the Joker, a killer, right? It's not necessarily the Joker that from the Batman universe, but nonetheless it's Joker, right? And the movie was good. The first movie with Joker, directed by Todd Phillips and starring Joaquin Phoenix, I think is a good movie. I think that the movie, after I saw it one time, I was like, this is good. I think I gave it a 9.1 out of 10. I haven't seen it since, and I have had no real interest to watch it again. But apparently a lot of people watch it because when it came out, it made over $1 billion. So that was a huge success for Warner Brothers and for DC, that this one-off spin-off of Joker was able to make $1 billion. Pretty crazy, but it's true. Joker 2 is coming out. Now, me personally, I was not, and I don't think that this Joker movie needed a sequel whatsoever. I saw it and I was like, yeah, this was fun. This was a one-off. I think that's fine. That's good. I mean, I didn't think that there needed to be any more Joker, at all. Now, reports were coming out a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, that it was in development. It's going to be different. It's going to be Joaquin Phoenix coming back. Also, Lady Gaga. is going to be joining the cast. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this one thing is true or not, because I haven't done the research, and on this show we don't do research. I've heard that this movie is a musical, and let me get the title straight. It's Joker Folie à Deux. Folie à Deux. I think that's like French or something like that. I don't even know what that means. So, is this American? I don't know. Nonetheless, this is coming out this year. And in my opinion, this movie just doesn't seem necessary. It doesn't seem like a movie that, for one, I would want to watch because, again, I like the first one. I do not need to see a second one. And frankly, I don't know a lot of people that actually want to see a second movie. Of course, they're trying to do it again because the first one made $1 billion. But I don't really see a point in seeing this. And yes, this is where I was saying from the top, I think I'm allowed to hate this. I hate that this is going to be a movie. I truly hate it. I don't know why, but I do. It pisses me off that Joker 2 Folie à Deux is coming out. So Google is telling me that this is going to be a jukebox musical. So it's not going to be like a musical, but, if you remember Joker, the first one, they kind of put in songs in the movie, like a lot of music that was in the movie. And this Google was saying is just going to be about 15 songs that's going to be in this movie. Now, that makes me hate it a little bit less, I'll be honest. Because I thought if it was going to be a straight musical, I would have been like, what the fuck are these guys at DC thinking? This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. But anyways, it's still coming out. Folie à Deux is coming out. And I'm like, dude, I just don't see how people want to watch this movie. I really, really don't. The trailer is supposed to come out on April 9th. That'll be in about a week, right? I'll be able to see it, hopefully, before then. It's going to be next week, I believe, and I'll have my thoughts on that. But as far as I am concerned right now, my entire view on this is this seems like one of the dumbest ideas for a sequel movie of all time, of a movie that completely, in my opinion, does not deserve a sequel. Now, I'm not trying to be I'm hating. I'm allowed to hate. I think that this is the dumbest decision that they've ever thought of. Why Lady Gaga, too? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that anybody's going to watch this. Now, of course, I could be entirely wrong. What if the studio's planning to make it a date night movie, where you can take your date and you can go watch Joker Folie à Deux. It's going to be, that could be a possibility of what they're thinking. We made a sad, depressing movie, the first one, which was very sad, depressing, to this more upbeat. I don't even know. There isn't anything out there on this movie because I think that this movie is going to be completely terrible, that nobody wants to watch it, and that they're just holding off on their stuff until April 9th, and then we can see it and be like, this looks terrible. Just the idea alone, to me, is a terrible idea, and it should not be made. I'm up for it to change my mind, though. Although I'm hating a lot right now, I'm hating a ton. I agree. I'm hating a lot right now. I probably most likely will not see this movie, but maybe a trailer, maybe a preview will be able to sway me into being like, yeah, you know what? I probably am not going to watch this ever, but it doesn't look as bad as I had imagined it would be. Because I'm only hating on what I'm thinking it's going to be like. Because for what it's been described, just sounds like absolute cringe. Who would want to watch this? Unless they put in Batman in it, which they won't do, I don't care. I truly don't care. Like, first of all, I think also the reason why I did not want to watch Joker more than once is because I don't like watching sad shit. I truly think that people who rewatched Joker like over and over and over are kind of sickos. Like, they kind of just want to watch despair in a guy slip into madness like that badly. Like, there's like nothing in Joker that to me is like an uplifting in at all. Like, who would want to watch that shit? In my opinion, I just didn't see it. I didn't see the appeal, and I'm gonna hate on it because I can. And if you like it, that's completely fine, by the way. But I guess I missed it. I don't understand it. How many people like that movie that much? Very, very strange. Like, I'm saying, it's a pretty good like character study of a character. It's not the Joker, but it is a Joker, a version of the Joker. But it's definitely not like Heath Ledger. It's not like cool like that. Joker to me is also a piece of the puzzle, I think. The Batman puzzle is, it needs the Joker. That's part of the puzzle of Batman is the Joker. When you just got Joker, you just got like one piece of the puzzle. There's no completion there, at least for me. It's like Venom. They made Venom, after I think Joker. I'm pretty sure they made Venom after Joker. Maybe Venom was first. Whatever. Both those movies are just a piece of a puzzle. They don't necessarily work for me because I feel like those characters need the other character to sort of make that whole story work. Again, this is a character story, so a character study, so it's not really much of a story. It's more of a study. If that makes any sense. The reason why it's that because they know that character is vital to this other character, but they're choosing to leave that other character out because they just want to be different and focus on that character. Again, character study. Not much of a story. They had to make one up, which was all right, but not something like I said I would want to come back and watch over and over again, to be fair. But yeah, it's kind of like Venom. And like when they made Venom 2, I was like, yo, they didn't need to make a sequel to Venom 2, but y'all made one? This is insane. It's unbelievable. But as far as I'm concerned, Joker, Folie à Deux is a no for me. Like, I truly don't want to see this whatsoever. Again, maybe the trailer will actually make me be like, yo, this could be cool. I mean, I could like it. I mean, apparently Lady Gaga's going to be Harley Quinn. Again, another character that I don't really care about. I just don't. So this is going to be like a very, very niche movie. I think that they kind of struck gold with Joker 1 making $1 billion. This one seems a little bit more far-fetched to make that $1 billion. And I know that the studio is going to be like, well, you better make $1 billion because the last one you made $1 billion. I don't think that's even possible. And the fact that the studio is probably thinking like that is possible is pretty insane. Like, there's no way that they could possibly think that Joker Part 2 is going to be another $1 billion. It just, that can't possibly happen. I was shocked to see that Joker 1 made $1 billion because that's a lot of damn money. And that was in 2019. That's pre-inflation. That's when it was so much cheaper back then. Like, it's insane. But I don't know. At the moment, I am so just not in the mood for that. I don't want that. The fact that that's coming out is just kind of sad to me. Weird. Like, nah, not for me. Totally a miss. Not even an ounce for me. Like, no thank you. You tried. Cool. Just give me James Gunn's Superman, please. That's all I want. I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound old-fashioned. I know I sound generic. But I just can't picture myself going into that theater and willingly watching Joker Folie à Deux. I don't think that's even possible for me at this point. I don't know. But again, I'm allowed to hate. I feel like this is some kind of thing where it's not meant to be taken too seriously, where I can just hate on it for fun. But again, I'm open to with my mind being changed. Totally possible. I'm trying to think, was there a movie that was really... Oh yeah, last week, a couple weeks ago, I was totally like against Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire. Now I want to see that shit more than ever. I think I'm going to see it this weekend. So hopefully I do, and I will have a review on next week's episode. But that movie was an example where my mind was changed by one trailer at the right time. The same trailer, by the way, at the right time. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This looks fun. I gotta see it. Maybe Joker 2 is able to be fun. And I'm like, yo, I was hating on this so much for a lot of reasons. It looked like shit. But you know what? It looks pretty fun. So let's check it out. I think that's going to be the thing that can swing me. If Joker Folie à Deux can look fun, can seem fun, dude, I might watch it. I actually might watch it. If it looks fun, I might check it out. For real. Like, I mean, like, I'm being dead serious. If it looks fun, I'll check it out. That will be the one thing where I'm like, so far, everything is against it. But if it looks fun, again, that trailer is going to be out next week. Let me just make sure, because it said the 9th, but let me make sure. That'll be a Tuesday, so I will have my thoughts on it for next week's show, by the way. So that'll be next Tuesday. So in my opinion, my hatred can be squashed with this trailer. It's possible, but I don't know. I truly don't know. So far, the concept, the fact that it's coming out, has me hating it so much. Has me full on hating it. I just don't want it to happen. But never say never. You know, if it's fun, I might check it out. I gotta be honest, too. I was not expecting to watch this much women's college basketball. The Final Four, LSU versus Iowa, was an insane game. Most of the people who watch this probably don't even watch sports or women's college basketball, but it was a great game. LSU versus Iowa. A rematch from, I believe, last year's championship or Final Four game. I can't remember, but it was an actually super entertaining game. And I'm also watching the men's side as well, because the men's side, or the men's tournament and the women's tournament, are happening pretty much at the same time. I gotta say, after watching the men's and the women's, I've been able to kind of spot some differences. I feel like I had much more fun watching the women play than the men play. And I think because the college women play much more disciplined basketball than the men do. And that is shown in the quality of the games. Like, I just feel like the college, like, men's teams, games can be so bad. And by the way, Iowa and LSU are some of the better teams in women's college basketball. So I saw like the cream of the crop, the best teams, right? But even then, like, I mean, it just seemed like the games that game alone was just so much better played than a lot of the men's games this tournament. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm having more fun watching this than the men's. It's pretty insane. I couldn't believe it. Also, it was the most watched, like, women's college basketball game of all time, with 12.3 million views. I think 12.3. I think it was maybe 12 point, maybe more, but I think it's like 12.3. But again, like, so much viewership on that game. You know, we got the names like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. Like, I understand the hype. I get it, but I also do think that the product itself, the quality of the play between these two teams, was just skyrocket. It was so much fun to watch. I couldn't believe it. And I do think it is because of the discipline between the men's teams and the women's teams. Like these women's teams were just more disciplined and they scored better. They're more efficient. It was more entertaining. Like I've said, I've seen a lot of high stakes men's college basketball games that are complete duds. I mean, somebody wins them, right? But like for the most part, like the games are just duds. Like they're not fun to watch. This one was just great to watch. And I could not believe that a person like me would be saying this on air. Like, I actually kind of prefer watching women's college basketball than men's, at least in that perspective. Again, I got the cream of the crop between Iowa and LSU. So maybe it's just because of that, but also I'll have to watch the rest of the men's Final Four as well and then be the judge. But I do think that my opinion will hold up because then there's a lot more stinker men's games than women's games. I'm just kind of seeing this, happen this year. But we'll see, though. But I was thoroughly impressed when I saw. I was like, damn. And Caitlin Clark, by the way, is incredible. She's an incredible basketball player. She can shoot like three-pointers from like almost anywhere and make them. It's insane. And her confidence is just crazy. Like, she is so good at basketball. Not just shooting, but like assisting, driving to the paint, passing, long-range threes, handles. Like, dude, this girl was crazy. She was cooking those LSU girls. It was insane. I didn't watch much of the USC UConn game, but UConn won. So that means UConn will play Iowa in the Final Four, which I believe is next weekend or next week. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to watch the men's too because the men's Final Four is this coming up weekend. That way I can compare and contrast and see which one was actually better. Because right now the women's kind of got the steam going. They got the what is it called? Not the steam going. They got the momentum right now. They got the momentum in terms of quality of college basketball, I think, in my opinion. There was an ad that I saw. It was an ad for Instagram, and I could not believe the context of this ad. It was insane. Instagram must be in big trouble when they had to run this ad. It was a short ad, and I was perusing Reddit on my phone, and the ad was very simple. It just was playing videos of cats, like short little videos, like Instagram Reels, and it was a short ad, like I said, and it was just like a couple taglines saying, "Do you like cats? Do you like cats?" with a montage of cat videos. Then download Instagram because you like cats. So get Instagram. Whew, man, I can't imagine like what they were thinking. Instagram was thinking at that point. Like they truly have sunken so low. There's no creativity behind that. It's just blatantly obvious. People like cat videos for some reason. I don't, but a lot of people do. And Instagram was like, you know what? Instead of being creative, instead of being indirect, instead of being like, having a message, let's just point it out and see like people like cat videos. So if they want to watch more, download Instagram. But newsflash though, I think that everybody who likes cat videos already has Instagram. I don't think that you're finding many people that have not discovered cat videos on the internet yet. Like, I don't think that that's even possible at this point, considering the amount of exposure that people have on Instagram or to Instagram. Not just from ads alone, because this ad was like one of the worst ads I've ever seen in my life. But again, just blatantly lazy. 6 second ad, only 6 seconds, and just saying like, you like cats? Download Instagram. Like, oh my God, there's no way that this is real. But it was real. I saw it. I couldn't believe it. Instagram is the place for cats, apparently. Hey man, did you know if you like cat videos, download Instagram? Man, I feel like someone who's like 55 came up with that ad. Like, that's exactly what you would say to your I don't know, like a 60-year-old grandma. Like, hey, grandma, I know you like, cat videos. There's this app. It's called Instagram. It's got 1 million of them, maybe even 1 billion. And you can watch them all. You can watch every single one if you want to and waste your life. And guess what? There will be more every day. There will be 1 billion more the next day. And all you got to do is download this app and watch cat videos. It's called Instagram. No, it's not called catvideos.com or Cat Videos World. No, it's Instagram, and it's got cat videos for you. I couldn't believe it. I know I'm sounding a little sarcastic. I'm sounding a little on the nose about this, but I do think that that's exactly what they were kind of doing with this ad. Was saying, like, everybody my age, I'm 30, and younger, has Instagram. Pretty much everybody my age and younger has Instagram. To an extent, they know what it is, at least probably. They know what kind of content is on Instagram. But people older than me, like about 15 years older than me and up, probably don't really know what Instagram is. That ad is made for them because they know that not enough older people have Instagram. And a lot of older people probably like cats, and they probably love cat videos. And they're going to give them an app. This ad was like a discovery ad where older people can discover that all I need is Instagram to get cat videos. My life has been made. Like, you might as well just call it Catstagram. Like, that is essentially what they were trying to make it. Is Instagram has only cat videos, or has the most cat videos. Kind of crazy. I remember there used to be some innovative ads for Instagram back in the day. Where they would like show it like, you're making a collage, making like a photo album of all your adventures and things that you did with your friends and family, maybe traveling, maybe go sightseeing, moving, putting in like, landmark posts. Oh, I moved in. Oh, I'm married. Yay, this. I have a kid. We're expecting a child. This and that. Documenting important life decisions, important accomplishments. I graduated college. I'm now a doctor. I got a new job. I'm starting college. Now where are we at? Instagram has cat videos. Be happy. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Instagram is no longer a platform to promote yourself. It's no longer a platform for you to express yourself. At least that's not what they're trying to market it as now. They're trying to market it as a platform to waste your time. Cat videos are a perfect example of wasting your time. So they can throw in ads left and right while you scroll the cat videos. No longer is it really about social media. Social means interacting. Being social, interacting with people. Now it's just about swiping and scrolling through cat videos. And that is it. Completely changed, in my opinion. And not for the better. Not for the better. But, I'm not going to sit here and be like, we should ban it. We should ban Instagram. We should ban social media. We should ban it. No. Just have self-control. You don't have to do it. You don't. Go talk to your friends. Go hang out. Go see a movie. Go to the bar. Go have a drink. Go dance. Go see a concert. Go see a show. there doesn't need to be a ban on social media. Just moderation. Just have self-control. And that's really all it is. This is kind of stemming from like Florida's proposed like ban, I think, on like kids under 14, I think, that they want to ban social media. When you start banning things, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I know that it's probably not good for kids at all, like social media in general, but we need to make sure that the parents know what's going on with the kids, and maybe make sure that they, discipline the kids. You don't need, the government to be like, well, we're going to ban it because we have no other option. And we want to ban it, actually, because we want the power. Like, I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Any social media ban is crazy. That's insane. That is insanity. Because once you start banning, you never stop. It just continues. It mounts. It's like a snowball. You're just going to be banning things left and right. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And everything's going to get banned. And then what? What do you do now? You can't do anything because everything's banned. You got to wait for these cycles to vote on stuff and then unban it. And that takes a process as well. I don't know. But Instagram, lazy. Super, super lazy as hell. One last thing, I think. I don't really watch too much about this guy, but I did see his piece this week, and this is Jon Stewart, by the way. He's back on The Daily Show, and he essentially was ripping into artificial intelligence and how these people who are creating it, how they're psychos, they're weirdos, they seem to be anti-human, they want to get rid of American workers and just put in AI, stuff like that. It's a pretty good piece. It's on YouTube right now at Jon Stewart, or it's on The Daily Show. That dude only hosts one day, by the way. Like, why only one day? What are you doing? Are you tired or something? Like, he does a pretty good job at it for one day, but it's like, still one day, really? I mean, you are, if you go on The Daily Show's YouTube, the most viewership, the videos that get the most viewership are Jon Stewart's videos. You guys got to pay him more, okay? But apparently, he came out and he claimed that Apple was not going to allow him to talk badly about AI. That's why his show that was on Apple got canceled, because he was on Apple for a while. But I guess this topic wasn't the one to seal the deal, but he would be off Apple, but he was not going to be allowed to do it because of Apple. Why? Because Apple's a tech company that's trying to probably make an AI. And if you got a guy like Jon Stewart, who is like, really looking into what's really happening with artificial intelligence, is going to poke holes and point out all these freaks that are making it. And, those freaks happen to be his employer at the time. Well, they're not going to let him say anything, because why would they do that? Why would they allow him to blatantly talk badly on something that this company's been trying to, make for years? And it's crazy, man. If you watch like that video, the Jon Stewart AI, dissection of AI, where he dissects like how bad it actually is and how these people who are creating it seem to be very, very, very anti-human, by the way, who are human but are anti-human, at least human in the workplace. They truly, it's scary. Like, they truly don't want to hire people to do jobs anymore. And that is going to be affecting us right now. Not in the future, but right now. He does an incredible job at laying it all out and showing these clips of these tech moguls, these tech gurus, and these nerds, essentially, who just make AI and want to make it so they never have to hire another person ever again, who never want to talk to a human being ever again because they're fucking nerds. And it's insane how anti-human they are. It's pretty insane. But it's also sad, because it's like, damn, what if these guys, you know, did not have like this anti-human agenda. Like they probably wouldn't even create AI. They would just actually make something that was actually usable and that we want to use, like an anti-gravity drive. Like I want an anti-gravity warp drive to exist, right? So we can go places and not just sit around and talk to AI. Like what the fuck is, like, part of my language, but what are we doing? I feel like we're using our best brains and our best minds on things that make us lazy, and that is AI. AI makes us incredibly lazy. At least the people who run AI, they're lazy. I'm pretty sure the people who make AI, like once they like make it their best version ever, they'll probably stop thinking. They'll just like not even, do research. They won't even do anything. They won't learn anything. They'll just ask AI to answer all their questions, I feel like. I don't know, but if you haven't seen that piece on The Daily Show where he just rants about AI, calling them out, all these weird tech mogul nerds, it's pretty awesome. I mean, Jon Stewart is hit or miss for me, but this was a big hit. Like, this dude, like, nailed them. And unanimously, like, everybody in those comments is, like, agreeing, like, dude, like, AI is trash. Like, it's terrible. And, I was saying, a couple weeks ago, like, we probably won't use it, people, but I did not say that they would not force it on us. They are going to force it. The companies are going to force it on you. We won't use it. People won't use AI, but the bosses, the people who control the world, they will force AI on us. And that'll make it so people are not employed. People won't have jobs. It's pretty insane. It's insanity to think, but I think that it's pretty much almost here. It's a sad thing to think about, but it might be here already. And this piece from Jon Stewart is kind of a little bit of a wake-up call that I'm glad that The Daily Show let him do, because Apple sure as hell would not let him do that, for sure. And that's going to be it for me today, people. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.